First of all, thank you. Thank you very much. So my TOE talk is experiential education, why try? Because really, if you think experiential, oftentimes it takes a lot more effort than just sitting there and passively absorbing it. So why try? That's one way of why try. Another way of why try for myself was, like in the face of literally global collapse, climate change, living beyond the carrying capacity of the world, peak oil, really? I'm leading a spider web? There's big things out there that are happening, and here I am with this spider web? What about this rubber chicken? Hold on, shouldn't I be doing something a little bit more connected to these things? And I think I'm doing exactly what's connected to those things. For many reasons. I think experiential education really does, for me, and I think for others, speak to exactly what we need to face those huge problems. Those huge problems, a lot of them, I think, are because we measure success on things like gross national product. How much can we create and consume? That's the wrong measure. What about happiness? What about well-being? What about collective consciousness? What about all those things? So I think our measurement sometimes drives it a little bit. I think the other part with that gross national product, you think, oh my God, that's growth for growth's sake. That's what our economy is based on. Wait a minute, growth for growth's sake? That's what cancer is. Hold on, we got some major work to do. So rather than talk to you about the major work to do, some of you have done this activity before, and if you have, do it like you did it the first time and let someone else play along with you. So you have 5 seconds to shake a person's hand, and that person's your partner. And come up to, or find somebody who else's hand is raised, and you're going to have to physically move next to them. All right, thank you. You're going to want to listen to this one, because I'm only going to say it once. You and your partner are going to be engaged in a competition. The competition is to get as many points for yourself as possible. The way you get a point for yourself is by pinning. That would be cheating, but that would be pinning your partner's thumb. It behooves you to release that, because that's 1 point, and you're going to have 20 seconds to get as many points for yourself as possible. Assume position. On your mark. Get set. Go. Time. If you can hear my voice and someone's talking, ask them to listen. All right, thank you. How many people here received 1 or more points? 2 or more points? 4, 8, 16, 32. Wait a minute, hold on. Amy, how many did you get? You got 25. Anybody higher than 25? Back there. 40. You each personally got 40? All right. Huh? Anybody else higher than 40? I feel like an auctioneer. 40, 40. Do I hear 40? Lindsay, how many were you sporting?
Really good at this game. You got a lot of points.
Really good at this game, but not good at counting. So you got a lot. All right. It's all right. That's all right. That's good to know. So, whether you believe it or not, it's possible to get 40 points. However, I know it's possible to get 80 points with the exact same rules, the exact same time. You're going to be given 3 minutes right now to plan, not to do it, but to plan, to talk, to find out how'd you get 40, whatever you want to do, to practice, to limber up, I don't know. But you get 3 minutes. When I raise my arm like this, I'm going to ask people to quiet down, and then we're going to go, and you get 20 seconds. This time, the same rule, the same goal. You want to get as many points for yourself as possible, and none of us will be successful unless every person here gets 80 points. The world record's over 100, just saying. But now that's your challenge. Same thing, get as many points for yourself as possible, but no one is successful unless everyone gets 80. 3 minutes has begun. So with 30 seconds to go, just so I could ask, is every single person here confident without cheating? People go, what's cheating? I don't know. But without cheating, that you are going to get at least 80 points? Yeah. Every single person here. Are you confident that the people across the room are? I hear a few little, I'm not too sure about the people across the room. So you think so? So someone across the room, how are you going to get 80 points?
I'm going to do it like this. You do that one.
I don't know. I don't know. Anybody else? Different thoughts? All right. Assume the position. At least 80 points. On your mark. Get set. Go! How many people here received 80 or more points? 80 or more? Back there, 80 points? For those who played? Yes? All right, let's see. How about 90? 100? Oh, we're in world record category. 110, going 110, 120, 120, 130, 130. Brent, how many personally? 130. 130, anybody higher? Sir?
135.
135. Oh, wait, someone way back there?
246.
You individually?
What's that?
You personally got 246? Wow. We'll have to do a little check on that one, but nonetheless. You got a lot too? How many did you get? Nice! All right. Okay, all you studiers of Dewey, we're working our way around here. So what? So what? That's what we're going to talk about right now. The first time around, if I was to do a quick average, I'd say it was probably around 5. The second time around, it was about 90. Maybe with that 246, it would be a curve breaker. It could have been like 140. Who knows? But whatever it was, the first time was really sad. Was really low. Was only about 5. Why were you so pitiful the first time around?
We weren't working together.
Okay. How about you? Why were you so pitiful, Kevin? Don't worry about it. You had a lot of company here. Everybody here.
No, we were kind of approaching it from like the normal way of looking at thumb wars, a war between the two.
So it was the exact same rules both times. The first time you actually called it a name, thumb war. 1, 2, 3, 4, I declare thumb war. And the idea isn't to tap as fast as you can. It's the idea is to do what?
To win.
And what does win mean?
Someone loses.
In your mind? Sure. How about other people? Yeah, to crush the other. Nice. Love that language. So why did you think thumb war? In fact, you even said the normal way. People play this before?
Society.
So, okay, that's a big one. So what about society? Thank you for being courageous to throw that in there. What about society?
Competition.
So I'll, just because I only have a few minutes, if you don't mind, I'll see if this is along your line of thinking. So when I say competition to you all, imagining you probably are educated in North America, and therefore means up to 80, some studies say 85% of your time spent in head-to-head competition. And I'm like, what? How's that possible in the public school? Well, you raise your hand, you get called on, the other person doesn't. Competition. First in lunch line. What about being that cheerleader? How about that first trombone? Whatever it might be. What about bell curves? I got 80, but it's lower than anybody else I can see. So competition, you've been socialized to believe, means I need to do better than the next person. I did this activity in St. Petersburg. As an exchange faculty over there, the first time I did it, average score was 40. Like, great game, on to the next. I have nothing to say. And the reason is competition is against the other province, against the world record, against, you get the idea. Now, that doesn't mean they're better than we are, and it doesn't mean collaboration is better than competition, because no, those things, those behaviors are just tools. If I want to be a great tennis player, I'm not going to say, I'm going to pick the best tennis player in the room, Henry here, and I'm not going to say, oh, that's a lovely lob, Henry. Oh, wonderful. Oh, no, we're going to go for it, because I'm going to be better, but I'm going to choose what behavior towards the goal I want. The second time around, I helped you by saying, and no one is successful unless it's 80 points. And by the way, you can personally do better than that. The game didn't change. Your focus changed. I helped create that focus. Your game didn't change, but you were given 3 minutes, a whole 3 minutes to think about how are you going to do it differently. That's what we do in experiential education. We allow people to practice, and we help them focus on the things that are helpful. So that in the beginning, and your goal is to get as many points as possible, habituation, evolution is a reactionary process. Giraffes did not grow long necks because it was a good idea. No, if you didn't have a long neck, you died out of the gene pool for you. We're at a stage like never before, where natural selection is not going to occur on an individual basis. Climate change is here. We're beyond peak oil. We have to figure out how not to evolve, because we know that how that works out, because you die. We have to figure out how do we be proactive. That's not in our DNA, to be proactive. As you saw, our DNA was, oh, we take into the new experience that which worked in the old. We're in a new experience. It's not working. We have to figure out a new way of being. For me, experiential education allows people to practice, to take the time, to think of goals that are the collective, without saying, and therefore you have to give something up. You don't have to give anything up. Get as many points for yourself as possible. Oh, and by the way, you won't succeed unless everybody gets 80. I think by practicing how to behave proactively with things that feel like they don't matter, we might have a shot at it on a larger scale. So for me, that's why I wake up every day to my spider web, to my rubber chicken, to my thumb wrestle, to whatever other tools I have that allow people to reach beyond what we know we can do, to something that we have to create a new future for ourselves, or there's not going to be one for the 7th generation. So I wake up every morning passionate about it, and I'm going to do my very best to do it. And in one of my colleagues in ETDA, Experiential Training Development Alliance, we were having this, like, oh, do we work for defense contractors? What about tobacco companies? What about this and that? You know, these big ethical things. And he said, yeah, sometimes I just feel like telling them, sit down, shut up, consume as much as you want. It'll all be over by 2030 anyway. I'm like, whew, I don't think I can get out of bed with that attitude. I said, for myself, I feel a little bit more like Shackleton. Yeah, we're in the polar ice cap with Endurance. Yep, we feel the ice and it's squeezing the ship. Yep, we're probably going to have to get off and do something different. But I believe that we can create those lifeboats, not the kind that bob around and hope that someone comes by, but the ones where you row with everything you've got to make it happen. And in that rowing for with everything you got, I also hope, and I know for me it's true in experiential education, that I learned to sing in the lifeboat. That it's not just about rowing and hard work and I hope we make it, but I have to be able to rejoice. And wow, we get another day. We get to try this one more time. So it's not a defeatist attitude. For me, it's more of a, this is an amazing time in the world. I get to try to change it. And I hope that's true for all of us. There's a reading by John Shire. The future is not a result of choice among alternative paths offered by the present, but a place that is created. Created first in mind and will, created next in activity. The future is not some place we're going to, but one we are creating. The paths are not to be found, but made, and the activity of making them changes both the maker and the destination. I believe we have a bright destination, and I wish you all joy in the journey. Thank you.